The objectives for this video are to use the TI graphing calculator to find the critical value and the test value for a z-test for a mean. In a previous video, we conducted a hypothesis test about a mean where the population standard deviation was known. We used a table to find the critical value of 1.65 and the formula for the z-score for a sample mean to find the z-test value of 1.52. We can use the TI graphing calculator to find these values. In order to find the critical value, we will need to know the significance level and whether it is a one-tailed or two-tailed test. In this case, we have a right-tailed test with a 0.05 level of significance. In order to find the critical value, we will press second VARS. We will be using the inverse normal function, so we should press 3. At the prompt for the area, we will input the level of significance. That was 0.05. Make sure that the mean is set to 0 and the standard deviation is set to 1. Use the cursor to select which tail the specified area is in. In this case, it is a right-tailed test, so we will cursor over to right and press enter. Cursor down to paste and press enter. If you are using a TI graphing calculator that does not prompt for the values, then you will need to place the values in the correct order. The correct order is level of significance, comma, mean equal to 0, comma, standard deviation equal to 1, comma, and then the correct tail, which in this case is the right. Press enter. The calculator then gives us the critical value 1.645, which the textbook rounds to 1.65. We can also find the test value using the TI graphing calculator. We will need to know the hypotheses, the sample mean, the hypothesized mean, the population standard deviation, and the sample size. Press Stat, and then cursor over to Tests. We are conducting a z-test, so we should press 1. We do not have data values in a list. Rather, we have the statistical measures. So we should highlight Stats and press Enter. Cursor down to the hypothesized mean and type 21. Cursor down to the standard deviation and type 5.4. For the sample mean, type 22.3. Cursor down to the sample size and type 40. The next line requires us to indicate whether the test is a two-tailed test, a left-tailed test, or a right-tailed test. This is a right-tailed test, so we will highlight the greater than symbol and press enter. Now cursor down to calculate and press enter. The calculator then gives us the z-test value of 1.52. In this video, we learned how to use the TI graphing calculator to find the critical value and test value for a z-test for a mean.